All right, want to welcome to the program this morning. Are you in Franklin, in Nashville? This is Alex Miller. Where are you at this morning, sir?
Well, I'm in Hendersonville,
Oh,
which is a
Hendersonville. Okay.
little north of Nashville. Yes,
Is that where we had lunch together with you, Bill, my wife, and our friend Todd?
it is. Yeah, we ate at the little Mexican restaurant not too far from us.
That's pretty good, too.
It
Anyway,
was good food.
welcome to the show this morning. We'll give a little information about you. People can say, besides the song, I know that name. You were a contestant and made it quite far on American Idol. How many seasons ago?
Well, I guess it's been about 3 or 4 now. I was on season 19 of American Idol.
Okay. And one of the things when we were having lunch that you talked about, you kind of were out of the show at a level that was kind of in the future good for you because you weren't under the control of any contracts of what you could or couldn't do in performance wise.
Exactly. I've always said since I was on the show, winning the show is not always winning the show. I think that I won in a big way where I was able to go out and get a manager, get a record deal, and do it all by myself. And I feel like I worked for it a little harder, and I think that it's coming back. It just worked out 10 times better, I think, for me than if I'd have went on the show.
Now you writing songs like you. I guess you're doing it today. Are you sitting there with our friend Bill White?
I am. Yeah, Bill's in the room across from me. I'm going to tell him to keep her down while we're doing this interview.
Okay, but that's your job, I guess. I mean, and sometimes I think it's those of us that don't sit down and write music. This is something you schedule to do. You get up in the morning, and it's like, okay, I got to go write a song. How often are you sitting down at your job?
Well, I'll tell you, during the winter, I ride as much as I possibly can. I try to ride every day in January, February, March because I have time to do it. But this time of year, it's where I'm starting to travel and get busy, so it's not as much as it used to be. But I'm always writing, and even I'll write over the phone with people. I'll send people half of a song that I've written, say, "Hey, let's write this," and either they will or they won't. It's one of those kind of deals too. I'm always trying to be creative and keep my mind working towards a better song.
Now, when you write a song with Bill or whomever, and sometimes
Mhm.
there's more than one other writing partner, how do you guys figure out the financial end of all that? It's like, well, I wrote three of the lyrics. And you wrote.
Well, it's really simple. The way I do it, if I write something with somebody, it's an even split. If it's two people, I split it 50-50, and if it's three people, we'll split it, I guess, 33 or whatever the percentage is there.
Right.
But I always try to split it that way because I feel like if somebody's in the room, they're contributing to the song, and it's only the fair way to do it.
So the song that we've been playing here, and I really like it. It has that '90s feel, but it's fun, and we've been playing it here on Big Red Country. Is the Byrd, and
Yes.
and it's something. Now, did you write that with Tracy, or did you write it with somebody else and about Tracy Byrd, and then include him on it? What's the storyline?
Well, I'll tell you the whole thing, a whole booger. The whole song came about because of an elevator ride. I was going down to grab lunch at a convention, and the doors opened, and there stood Tracy Byrd, and my jaw dropped. Being a country fan like I am, and a country singer, I mean, somebody like him, somebody I've always looked up to. So I said, "Nice to meet you, Tracy Byrd." And he looked at me and he said, "Well, you're Alex Miller, ain't you?" And I went, "Yeah, I am." I said, "I am Alex Miller." So I shook his hand and got to know him. He actually invited me to lunch, and he gave me his number and said if I ever needed anything to let him know. So a couple weeks later, I had a write with the guy that does a lot of my writing. His name is Jerry Salley, and he writes a lot of great country songs and bluegrass tunes as well. And I said, I've got to write this song about Tracy Byrd. I said, I met him, and he said he'd need to do something together pretty much. So I sat down, and I had the idea. I said, give them the bird. There's an old George Jones song called The Last Thing I Gave Her Was the Bird. So we wanted to write something more of a tribute to Tracy in that way. And I think we did about as good a job as you could do. And I sent it to Tracy, and I said, "Buddy, would you record this with me?" And he said, "Yes." And we got in the studio and we did it. And I'm so thankful that we did, and I'm so appreciative to Tracy too.
Well, that's the coolest thing. I mean, for all of the along the path, but the very first thing that when the elevator doors were there and you recognized him, that he recognized you. And
Oh yeah, you want to talk about somebody living on cloud nine? I was in the clouds. I mean, my dad said he had to pop my big head just a little bit on a few times over there.
so some of the and the video you put together is fun. I mean, the things that you are producing right now are really enjoyable. Who's the gal that has been in a couple of your videos that you've performed with and so forth? What's that story?
Well, her name is Emily Ann Roberts. She's a great country singer as well. She's married, so don't get any ideas, Rollin. But she's a great country singer, and our duet with her, man, it's done really well too. It's called More Country Than You, and it's kind of went a little viral as far as on the internet side of things.
I'm gonna have to get your gal to send us a file on that, and we'll get that on the air too because I think that's a fun song. So you've been writing all winter long, whether it was with our friend Bill or whomever, and
Yeah.
now we're coming up. Now we're coming up on summertime. You're out on some shows from what I see in your schedule, correct?
Yes, sir. We're traveling. Got a date with Alabama this year. Tracy Byrd. I got some dates with him. Rodney Atkins, and the list goes on. We've got a lot of shows we're playing and coming to a lot of places. I wish we was coming out your all's way this year because I'd love to see some California friends. It's been a while since I've been out there.
Well, that's something that we may have to try to
I was about
facilitate.
to say we need to work on that.
Yeah, we could do that. I could take you to some of my favorite restaurants around here. We
Sounds good.
might have to leave you out here for a week or two to get all those included. So, uh, so when you're not writing, you're not performing. What's Alex Miller doing for fun in Tennessee?
Well, I've got a little girlfriend, so that's been taking a lot of my
Ah.
time up. But she's a sweetheart, somebody I really like spending time with. So that takes up a lot of my time. But when I'm not doing that, I'm just like any other boy. I like going and fishing and hunting and doing all that kind of stuff. And I actually been working on building a guitar. That's been what's been taking my time up right now.
Now you say you're building a guitar.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah. On the internet, you can buy these little templates, and then you can just take your router and route them out. And it's electric guitar. Don't think I'm that good, but
Okay.
it's an electric guitar. So I bought this template and was routing it out and cutting it out, and I've got it together. I just got to paint it and get it done.
Well, you can go down to Memphis, work for Gibson down there if you if they
Well, if times get real hard, I think that probably would be all right.
okay. So, what are you and Bill working on? If you're working together, I mean, did you come in this morning and like, hey, let's keep working on this song, or how did the day start today? I mean, you guys are a couple hours ahead. You probably already got 2 or 3 pages of lyrics done.
Yeah, we and a couple cups of coffee too.
There you go.
But the way I do it, if I want to, some of the best songs ever written are songs that were rewritten, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So today I'm probably going to work on one that we've wrote and try to get it exactly where I want it. I've done this before with Bill, and I actually cut one of the songs we did. It'll be coming out next year, but I always do that. I always live with the song. Some people try to just write songs and throw them out there and say, "Well, I'm done with it." But a song can always be tweaked and fixed a little bit, and that's my favorite part is the nitty gritty, getting it right part, and that's what makes the songs real special is when you dig into them and it's almost like actors with learning a movie part or something. You just have to invest in the song, invest in what it's trying to say, and just try to make it say it plain, basically.
All right. Well, listen, Alex, it was a pleasure when we got a chance to meet in November. We're going to try to get back for the CMA Award show again this following year. Maybe we can do another lunch at some point and discuss
Yeah.
some more. But you know what I really want to do is try to find a spot and a time that we can get you out here to perform because I want everybody to enjoy meeting you and hearing you and just seeing you perform. So we'll work on that next. Okay.
Well, sounds good to me, Rollin. I sure appreciate you getting me up early this morning.
Well, not a problem. You go give Bill a little bit of hell and tell him that I said good morning to him,
I
and
certainly will.
I'm going to talk to your gal about getting that other song out here so we can get that on the air too. Okay.
Well, I'm sure she'd be glad to send it to you. Y'all take care, and we'll see you soon.
Thank you, Alex. Take care. Bye bye.
Bye bye.